Talking with Topher is sponsored by slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and naturalbossnh.com. More on that later. Let's get into episode 87. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back. It's Monday, November 29th, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's because it's been a crazy couple weeks. But it is so good to be back recording as normal releasing the episode in the same week. I think it's going to make a big difference. I felt like I was losing my mind a little bit, and I recorded a podcast last week, and it was just a repeat of Thanksgiving. So I felt like this was completely necessary in order to keep the show moving in the right direction. So back at it again at a normal time and day. I'm super excited about it. But first, I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who subscribes. I appreciate it so much. You really do keep me coming back here week after week. So thank you. Just share, rate, and review, and leave comments. I greatly appreciate all that you do for me. So thank you very much, as always. And then if you're new to the podcast, that's right. If you're listening, watching, whatever you're doing, if you're taking in the content, please hit the subscribe button. Yes. It means nothing to you, everything to me. It literally keeps me coming back here week after week. Of course, give a thumbs up for the video and share, rate, and review. Yeah, and leave comments. All of that helps the podcast grow, and I greatly appreciate everybody doing that so much. I really do. If you want to get more involved with the podcast, that's right. TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. And if you want to get free Slow Down merch, well, this is your opportunity. Put Slow Down in the subject line. Put your story or somebody else's story that you think needs to be heard in the body, and send that email over to talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. And not only do you get to get more involved with the podcast, but now you get the opportunity to win some amazing Slow Down clothing products. So I'm super happy that we can be doing this, and that Slow Down's helping us out to do it. So it's very exciting. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Again, that is Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook, where I post every week, almost every day of the week. But yeah, it's just a great way to get some extra content. Again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And I always appreciate the follow. All right. And now with all of that out of the way, it has been a crazy couple weeks. And I think I finally found, I guess a lot of people like to call it their higher power. I believe mine is in being grateful and thankful instead of looking at the negative stuff in my life. Even though I just recently had something happen, which I will get into later in the podcast, but I'm still thankful and I'm still grateful for where I am and what is going on in my life. But you know, sometimes you're just not prepared for the way the cards fall, you know? You can try to get there, you can try to put things together, and you can do the best you can, but at the end of the day, when the cards fall, they're usually not in your favor. At least they're never in my favor, but that's fine because I've learned to, one, deal with it, two, not let my emotions get the best of me, and three, I keep going over what positives are going to come out of the negative situation. So because of that, I feel like I finally found my so-called higher power. Everybody's like, oh, well, you got You got to give it up to somebody. And I don't think you have to give it up to somebody or something. I think we're not giving it up. We are, I guess in a sense you're giving it up, but I don't see it that way. I saw it as an issue that I needed to deal with, and I still need to deal with, but dealing with it and being grateful for where I am because of dealing with it, because of things that have happened that I've had to change, being able to look at things calmly has really helped. But being grateful and thankful is where I'm finding I don't know if maybe it is, it's relief in a sense. Because when I do this now, and I've been practicing it more and more, when I do this, I get this feeling like the blanket's been taken off. Like I always feel like I have a heavy blanket on me, and now I feel like it's lifting. I still felt it today, and I still felt it during the last couple weeks, but when I was thankful and grateful for anything, and I actually took that negative thought and I turned it into a positive, because even though it's what is happening is negative, the way I'm thinking is negative, if I start thinking positively and giving thanks for where I'm at and being grateful for what I'm doing and the things that I still have, then I feel like the weight's been lifted. It doesn't really get rid of the negative thought. It just makes it a little bit easier, I don't know, to swallow. So I've been dealing with that, and I've been working on it, and I think that's what my key is. Like, some people have God. Some people make up an imaginary thing just because they're supposed to give it up to something, but they don't believe in God. Or whatever you do to put yourself in a better place, I think I finally found mine. And I finally feel like I'm in a better place when I go through these steps, and I utilize this. Seems to have helped me the most. And I didn't know what they were talking about. Whenever they would say, you got to give it up to somebody, or you got to find God, and you just got to pass it off, I didn't understand. I was like, why? How are you passing this on to somebody? And how does this help you? And now I think I get it. It's not about actually giving it away, which, I basically thought you were. I feel like it's not about giving it up, giving it away, or forgetting about it, which is the way I always took it. It's more about dealing with it, realizing what it is. That way, when it comes back up, you know how to deal with it again, because dealing with it doesn't change. But the way you deal with it sometimes can. But if you figure out what you need to do to suppress the feelings of anything, I feel like I finally have the proper tool to, I guess, give it away. I give it away for that moment. I bring positivity into my life instead. And then with all the positivity that I bring in, and I do my breathing, and I'm thankful, and I do these things, then the problem comes back, and I go, I can deal with you now. And then I have the strength to deal with my drinking addiction, things that go wrong, whatever it happens to be. I know that this was all about drinking. I don't have as big of a problem with drinking. And I actually have a story about that, but that's for later. So I don't have the problem with it anymore, but there are problems that happen in my life today that make me think I I could go back to it, right? Or I have such good moments, I go, would it really hurt to have a drink? I mean, I have got 5 years under my belt of nothing but control. And that is the wrong way to think about those things, I know. But I'm able to look at that situation and go, no. One sip, we're off the rails. I'm not a person that can just dip his toe in, right? I can't dip my toe into the pool. I have to jump in. So if I even get my toe wet, I'm in. So you might as well just jump in the pool at that point. So I still know that that is true, but using thankfulness, gratefulness, all of these tools and doing the breathing and the exercises that I'm doing, now I'm finding all of these things. I just have to deal with them pretty much the exact same way. And it's just that. So I think I finally found a little bit more to help me get through these tough times. And if you're somebody like me who does not believe in God, can't give it up to a higher power, didn't like going to AA because it was always church related, and I just can't stand religion. I do not like it. I feel like it hurts us more than it helps us. And I know that's probably horrible for a lot of you to hear, but at the end of the day, it's weird. It's really, really weird. And I don't like being part of I'm sorry, they're all kind of cultish, and it's always, if you don't believe what I believe, now I hate you. And I don't like that either. I just want to get along with as many people as I can while I'm here and just make it a good time. I don't want to be part of a religion and then that religion thinks it's better than the next religion. Maybe if all the religions could just, look at each other and be like, hey, we all believe in a fairy tale anyways, so why not just shake hands and be friends, and you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. Because at the end of the day, you're all believing in the same thing. It's fictitious. Now, whether or not you don't want to get into that, it's fine. But we're starting to find out that a lot of these stories were made up. And I think the best example of looking at a religion that's coming up is Scientology. That is a religion based off of nonsense. Aliens are involved. And the guy that made that religion said the best way to save your money is to make your own religion. So if we saw Scientology appear out of thin air, and now they're this giant religion, then why is it not okay to think all of the religions were done this way? And I'm saying that it's not okay to think this way because I feel like everybody out there that is so deep into religion, whatever yours happens to be, that this is crazy talk to you. And I don't think this should be crazy talk. But if you're like me and you're looking for a way for you to let go or whatever, try this. Try breathing. Try being grateful for whatever. Try being thankful for whatever. And see if this helps you. Because I know that the God shit did not help me. So I'm hoping that this helps. I'm hoping that this helps anybody who was running into the same brick wall as I was. And maybe now this will give you something else to work with. Because it gave me something else to work with. And it may not be God. It may not be somebody else. But it's something that lifts that heavy blanket off of me. And it allows me to deal with the situation. And what I've realized about the situation that keeps popping up over and over again, which is me wanting to not go back to drinking, is that whether it's positive thinking about drinking, negative thinking about drinking, just thinking about drinking, I have to attack it the same exact way, no matter what. And that's something that I realized, because I never thought of it that way either. I always thought, when I was thinking of alcohol positively, I didn't think that that was an issue. I thought it was like, oh, I can do this. And when I was thinking of it negatively, I was angry with it, and I was upset, and I was almost hostile towards the addiction itself. And that's no way to deal with that. It's just like, I believe, dealing with your pets or your kids or anything else, dealing with other people. If you yell and scream at them or get angry with them, well, they go into fear. They get angry back at you. It causes conflict. Or if you get too excited, or everything's so happy, and it's overwhelming. When it gets happy, you get excited, and those emotions take over. That's why I say I use the breathing and the thankfulness to bring that down a notch too. Because, like, you can get, emotion is crazy. It's a crazy roller coaster. Emotion is. So in order for me to settle my emotions so that I don't get too angry or too excited, this is what I'm using now. And it's now helping me deal with this. And now that I know that whether it's on this side or this side of the spectrum, I just deal with it the exact same way. And it's amazing how the problem gets worked out. So, but yeah, so I think I finally found I don't know if it's the key or what, but I found something that is really starting to work for me. And I'm starting to get those feelings that everybody would tell me about in AA and all the other fucking programs I've been in. And I now have that feeling from doing this. So I thought that was really, really fucking cool to figure out in the last couple weeks. It got me really excited to, just talk about it, because I was like, oh my God, a breakthrough. I finally feel good on both sides of this spectrum by doing this. So I hope it helps you out there, whatever you're dealing with. I hope it maybe gives you another option to dealing with whatever you're dealing with. Because I don't want this to be just a drinking podcast. I want anybody who's just having trouble with their addictions in life. I want this to be a safe space where you can talk about it and stuff like that. I just want to open up the door to everybody who is dealing with anything. And, hopefully this helps you, or hopefully we can get a conversation started, and I don't know, we can just try to walk through it and see what's going on. Talking to somebody else instead of just talking to your friends and loved ones and stuff like that, family, it helps. It helps. And if you don't feel like you have anybody, well, then I hope that I could be that person, because I'll just give you an honest, opinion on whatever's going on. And I feel like all the pussyfooting around that my parents did, the doctors, everything done when I was a kid, I feel like it didn't help me. It hurt me, because instead of being blunt and upfront and having something to work with, understood, I was a kid at the time, so a lot different, and the times were different. So everything about my scenario when I was early teen, early 20s, it's different than it is today. So I am understanding that, which is why I'm opening up this door for anybody who may have questions, or may want to just talk about what's going on in their life, just to get it off your chest. And of course, you can stay anonymous. I have no problem with that. I'm not asking anybody to blast themselves out. And if you want to, I will. I have no problem with that either. If you're going to go through the time to tell me your story, then if you want the shout out and you want to be acknowledged and stuff like that, I have no problem either way. It doesn't matter. I just want to help people. At the end of the day, I really just want to help people. So that's the major thing that happened with me over the last 2 weeks. And then what was it? I worked a whole bunch of days, and then Thanksgiving week was amazing. It was so nice because I got off Saturday, right? And then Sunday I'm trying to backlog here. Sunday we do our normal Sunday routines. I was getting a whole bunch of stuff ready, right? I was recording podcasts. I'm editing. I'm getting all the Sunday shit done. Me and my wife are hanging out, and we're basically getting everything ready because the 25th was my birthday. And then let's see. I go into work on Tuesday, do my normal orders. Nothing really too chaotic there anymore, with the signs being up and all the other stuff that's happened over the last month. Everything is really calmed down. I think the customers even calmed down a little bit, which was nice. It felt like everybody was kind of getting on edge, but now it seems like they're all calming down again. So it's good. It's good. I was very happy. Went in there, did my orders, got all my shit done. Had orders that came in, super pumped. When you order something and it finally comes in 14 days later, you're like, oh, thank God I can fill my shelves, So I got excited for that. And then Wednesday I had off. I had nothing to do on the 24th. So I literally went to jujitsu class, came home, took a shower, hung out with the wife, and then I went on a mushroom trip for a little bit because I finally could. I didn't have a podcast to edit. I didn't have any work to do. I didn't have anything to deal with, and I didn't have any projects around the house. And I made it this way, and then I just got to enjoy myself for like 6 to 8 hours. We watched, what did we watch? I watched that fungi movie on Netflix. That was amazing. Their 4K camera, amazing. It was just mind-blowing, and of course with the eyes being wide open and the lights and the colors already look bright as it is. That documentary was definitely shot so that you could watch it on some type of a hallucinogenic and get an amazing experience out of that documentary. I did watch it first sober because I actually wanted to pay attention to it and I didn't want to space out too much, but then we rewatched it, or I rewatched it the following day, and it was just amazing to watch the video. I finished Lock and Key. That was awesome. And then F is for Family came out on Thanksgiving. So my birthday fell on Thanksgiving. It happens like once every 5 years. And, I did say in my last podcast that, I'm not comparing it to Christmas, but I felt like I lost a day. And you know what? I didn't feel like I lost the day. It was awesome. It was awesome. I was expecting everybody to just say, happy Thanksgiving, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I got happy birthdays across the board. It was just an amazing, amazing day. And I forgot that it is really nice to do my birthday on Thanksgiving because of the simple fact that I see more people. I was like, I never see anybody on my birthday. Normally, I just take the day off and I stay home. That's my birthday. That's what I like to do. I like to do nothing. I mean, at this age, going to concerts, and that all takes time. It all takes more money. You got to stay. Fuck all that. I pay enough to live at this house, to keep the roof overhead, to do everything we're doing. Both dogs are here. I don't have to burn any gas. I don't have to do it. That is how you celebrate a birthday in your 40s. That's it. Like, if you go out and you do something, cool. I get it. That's fun. I have that just as much fun at my house, and my wife made me an amazing, amazing roast. It was so good. And she did some stuff with the the little baby corn, and she got couscous. And couscous, if you don't know what it is, it's like a rice. It's really, really tiny round balls. And I always call it a party in my mouth, because eating couscous is like having a party in your mouth. It's amazing. Well, I think that's going to be the title. But yeah, so it was amazing. It was a great dinner, and it was just an amazing time, Thanksgiving, to be around everybody and get all the happy Thanksgivings and all this other stuff. And it was just, and all the birthday wishes and just seeing everybody again. And it was just really nice. And, went to my sister's, and of course my mom always tries to do a birthday cake for me, where back in the day, because my birthday always fell on Thanksgiving, I would always get a Carvel ice cream cake turkey. Always the turkey. Well, they don't really do the turkey anymore. Either that or they were sold out. So my mom just got a rectangle one. But the weird part about this is that the last 3 Carvel cakes my mom's purchased, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody else out there, but I thought it was weird. They like flattened out. It was like they deflated. She'd leave it out, and it says on the box, leave out for 20 minutes so to thaw, so you can cut it. And they come back, and it's like this big. And you're like, and if you can't see my fingers, it's about an inch. So the cake was like 2 inches, and when it thawed, it was an inch. And you're like, what the fuck? And it's like bubbling out the sides, and if you tilt the tray, it moved. And I was like, oh no. And this happened before, and I took pictures and gave it to my mom. She never put in a claim. And then with this one, they took pictures and did everything, and this time my mom says she's going to put it in a claim. I don't know. They'll probably just give her a coupon for Carvel, maybe give her like a free cake. But it was really weird. It just flattened out. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. And then like all I could think about was the ice cream cake that my wife got me came from Ben & Jerry's. And it was like 4, maybe 5 inches thick. It was in the shape of a heart. It was really cute. It had all non-dairy products in it. Absolutely amazing. I got to eat this cake and not feel guilty and not have it be upsetting my stomach, except for the milk chocolate Rolos that were on top. I'm like, these are definitely dairy. And she's like, oh yeah, I wonder why they did that. And I'm like, I don't know, but these Rolos are definitely milk chocolate. I can totally tell the difference between, like, I could tell the difference between the stuff in packages now compared to the stuff I'm allowed to eat. There's a tremendous difference, although over time, you don't notice it as much. It's pretty incredible. Like, if you tried going over to like gluten-free, sugar-free stuff, you were like, oh my God, what is this? It tastes like chalk. Blah. Over time, you realize that you don't even really taste that anymore. And then I started to realize that like when something had added sugar to it, I could tell that there was more sugar in it. And then like, I've definitely had some candy recently, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. So I did indulge in some stuff I don't normally eat ever. And holy shit, is the packaged candy so sugary. I had one piece. What the fuck did I have? I had some, was it a Milky Way or a Snicker? It's something. It was some small candy bar. And I ate it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't eat any more of this. I do not know how I used to eat so many of these. I'm like, the amount of sugar you get into your system, and I just think it's weird how, like, my taste is flipped. You know what I mean? So if you're out there and you're trying to do these and you just think everything tastes so gross, give it time. I'm not saying it tastes any better, But I guess you kind of go numb to it, at least I did. But I'm also a person who doesn't eat food to just eat food. I eat food because you have to live. So I'm on a different level. I understand that. But hey, if you're anything like I am and you're just having trouble with letting go of sugar and all this other stuff, I'm telling you, you eventually get to a point where the stuff that you think tastes like chalk tastes really good and sweet. And then you go back to the real sugar shit and you're like, wow, this is too much. So that was pretty crazy to find out. But her cake you can get specially made at Ben & Jerry's. And you can make your ice cream cake exactly how you want it. You can put whatever you want in it. The layers, you make all the layers. It's really, really cool. Now, it was not a cheap cake at all. It was about $40 for the add-ons and everything else that she did. And, the non-dairy was a little bit more expensive. But it always is. Anytime you try to be healthy today, it's more expensive. And that's just the way this is. Unfortunately, it's not the opposite way, where if you want to be healthy, it's affordable. It's not all the time, but you can make it affordable by figuring out what works best for you and then sticking to that, for a little while until you can figure other things out. But yeah, it's definitely not more affordable than just buying their Ben & Jerry's ice cream cake. So but it was the thought that count. It was the and it was delicious, and it just really put that Carvel cake to shame. It really did. And I just felt bad for my mom because I was like, why does this keep happening? I'm like, why is every single Carvel cake you're getting like going flat? So it was pretty funny. But yeah, it was just a really nice night. We started the afternoon out. We got to her dad's at like 12:30. Had a real good time there. Everybody is just like, I used to always go there. It was a big drinking house. Everybody drank. All the brothers, all the sister-in-laws, her dad. Everybody was big drinkers. Now, that's all kind of subsided a little bit as everybody's gotten older. And it was really cool this year because everybody was smoking. So it was like a totally different world. And, I just do what I do, right? I just do what I do. I smoke. And it's never really changed. Some days it's a little bit heavier than others, but I'm still like smoking every day. And so they come out and, they smoke like a bowl. And it was funny because I guess her brother pulled it out of like a rubber glove. And then he had like a bowl in there and his baggie. And my wife looks at him and goes, "Oh, I am not messing with this. Babe, go get the pre-rolls." And I go, "Okay." Yeah. So I go to the trunk. I get, the party favors. And her dad comes out and he's like, "Oh man, this is so weird. Why, the neighbors are going to see you guys." And we're all like, "What are you talking about? This is legal. This is like having a beer on the porch now, Dad." You know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. But I still think it's weird that, my neighbors are going to see all my kids out here smoking." And I was like, "Well, that's the world we live in today. So it'll be okay." And he sees the bowl and he goes, "Why are you carrying that around with you?" And that's the same thing me and my wife were saying. I'm like, "What?" But it was really funny because they smoke. Her sister's boyfriend is what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's a smoker, right? She wasn't. Her brother's not. But now they're kind of getting into it a little bit, and so we're all smoking outside, and then we go inside, and her sister is giggling up a storm. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I wish I could feel that way." And then her brother's, he's fine. We're talking, but he's kind of spacey, and he's just eating everything in sight. And then her sister's boyfriend is just, he kind of does what I normally used to do, which is whenever I'm new to the family, which hasn't been for 13 years. But you can tell that, he's the new boyfriend. He's trying to feel everybody out. So he kind of just stuck to himself. And I was like, I can understand that. Within like 3 hours, her sister and him were passed out. And then me and her brother were talking. And he's like, dude, aren't you tired? And I'm like, no, we're getting ready to go again. You don't want to go again? And he's like, no, I mean, how much do you smoke? I was like, no. I was like, well, I smoked a joint with coffee this morning and then smoked a birthday blunt on the way down. And then I had that third one with you guys. And then me and her are going back out again. And then there's a birthday blunt for on the way to my sister's. And then when we get home, we'll smoke again. And he was like, what? An hour later, he was laid out across his bench. And he was like, I can't even eat anymore. Like, just done. And I was like, oh, wow, this is weird. I thought, I forget that, this is not an everyday thing for most people. But it made the day so much more fun because nobody was drunk. Nobody got out of hand. There was no crazy shit. So I was like, oh my God, this has been the best birthday / Thanksgiving ever at both houses, And now I have the memory of this Thanksgiving, even though my grandmother was not there. I definitely thought about her. Like I said, the camera makes me feel like I'm talking to her. The microphone, she can hear me. That's why I did all of this with what was left to me. And I was okay with it. I was okay with it. None of us talked about it, but I was okay with it. And I didn't know how I was going to be. And I think just the fun and enjoyment of everybody, between the families and seeing everybody and all of that just made this a great Thanksgiving, a wonderful birthday, and it was okay without Ma because now I believe she's hearing all about it, right? So really, really cool. Of course, Black Friday is one of my favorite days, to work. Always has been. I always dress up on Black Friday, so I was in my button-up shirt, had a great sale, had a fucking phenomenal day. Phenomenal. Killed it on the books. And then Saturday, busy but not crazy. Still no orders because the mail is stupid. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. And it's the holidays. They're here. The holidays are here. That's right. Thanksgiving right around the corner and Christmas right after that. Thanksgiving's the best time to figure out what everybody wants. And what better gifts to get than Slow Down? They got all the shirts, hats, gloves, sweatpants, sweatshirts, leggings, you name it, they got it. And it's great quality at a great price. And now with the holidays right around the corner and the mail slowing down, this is the time to go buy your holiday gifts and get them shipped out ASAP. Yeah, slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. Get all of your gifts here this year. New Hampshire Vape Gallery is located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Ring, where we're open 10:30 to 8 p.m. 7 days a week, excluding major holidays. And you can feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171. And of course, you can always shop inside of our store. This is the place to go for the holidays this year. Ching, 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 ching. Yay, the holidays are here, right? Everybody's going to be going to Thanksgiving, figuring out what to buy everybody. And what Where can you go to get all the vaping products that your family members are looking for this year? Well, you can get them right here at New Hampshire Vape Gallery. That's right. We've got them all. IPX80. How about the new G Priv? What? This thing, amazing. Great products. How about some Delta 8 by Moonmen? These disposables are awesome. We've also got CBD pre-rolls, CBD vapables. We've got your flavored juices. We got all your disposables in stock. We've got it all, and you can get it right here at New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Ring, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m., excluding major holidays. And feel free to come in and shop our selection. Yes. So get everybody what they're looking for this holiday season. And I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. NaturalBossNH.com. That's NaturalBossNH.com. Man, oh man, I love this website. They just discontinued their hand sanitizer, and that's okay because we're all starting to realize we don't need it as much as we thought we did. But they've got something even better, a brand new roasted cacao body balm. It's only going to be available for the holidays. Yay, the holidays. That's right. This holiday season, get yourself some awesome roasted cacao body balm. It is awesome. It smells great, and it's great for moisturizing your skin. Amazing, amazing product. I just think all of their products are great. We've got the beard oil. We've got the salve for dry skin. You got the lip balm for dry lips. And then, of course, you have your foot and body soak that helps melt those stressful days away. And then after you're done soaking all that away, you can use the brand new cacao body balm to bring some moisture back into your skin. And that's only going to be here for a short time, and that's the holidays. That's right. So get your holiday shopping done early and do it here at NaturalBossNH.com. Buy one or all 5 of these products today. And then yesterday, which was Sunday, I invited my parents over to my house for lunch and, just to have some fun. And it's been too long since they've been over here. It was so nice to have them both over to the house. They haven't seen the dogs in forever. They haven't seen the house in forever. So, it's probably been about 3-4 years, maybe 5 since they've been here. Because I think the last time they were here, my dad's popped in once or twice. But I think the last time they were actually over and hanging out, I think was when they lived here for a moment. But it was just awesome to have them over. They got to, see all the new shit that we've been doing and working on and see the backyard. And, my mom was blown away about the size of the yard now without the trees. I'm like, it hasn't changed. She goes, but it really does look like it did. And I go, yeah, it is pretty neat. And, they got to see the pups, and then we ate lunch. I took a digestive because I did something I don't normally do. And that's what I do during the holidays. And when I have family over and stuff like that, I don't want to be the person that's like, I gotta stick to my diet anymore. I'm fucking done with that. All it does is make others feel uncomfortable, and it makes me feel like a problem almost. So I don't do that anymore. I just keep my digestives on. And we got chicken from the Puritan back room. And it was amazing. I guess I wasn't supposed to eat the whole thing in one sitting. I was like, well, if you open up the container and it's there, I'm going to eat it. Like, I'm still a garbage disposal, and I still don't stop eating until I see the bottom of the plate. Doesn't matter what's in front of me. But so my wife was like, you ate it all? And I was like, yeah, fucking hungry. It's Sunday. It's lunchtime. But normally it's just a gluten-free pizza with some gluten-free pepperoni, So, and it's only 2 slices. So I ate enough for 2 people in one sitting. Finished that off. And then we just sat around and chit-chatted. It was just really, really nice. And then we played dominoes. And I don't know if you play dominoes or not, but it was so much fun to play dominoes again with my parents. It was so much fun. I just had a blast. We're sitting there shooting the shit, having fun. And this brings me to one of the things that I find interesting in my life now is that when I was out shopping Sunday morning, grocery shopping, gotta get it done. And for a fun fact, I locked my keys in my fucking car. That was fun. Luckily, the back window seal is busted, and I could fucking pry the window. And then somebody helped me pry the window while somebody had run over one of the snow markers and broke it. And it was one of the skinny ones. So I fucking stuffed it through my window and click, popped it, and the alarm goes off. But I got back in because the seal on the back window is broken. And I stupidly put my keys down in my trunk, put all the groceries in the trunk, and then closed the trunk. So that's why my keys got locked in the car. But yeah, so lock the keys in the car, go grocery shopping, finish everything up. And then, of course, I was like, well, my dad likes to drink, my mom likes to drink, and my wife likes to drink. I was like, let me get a little bit of something for everybody in case they want to drink. Because I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I don't feel like what I did was wrong. I feel like if what I did was wrong, somebody would have been like, you didn't need to do that and don't do that again. You know what I mean? But no one said that. I just told my dad, I was like, hey, I got you aluminum bottle Bud Lights. I got Mom these pineapple drinks and some grapefruit. And then I got you this bottle of wine. You know what I mean? And I was like, a little bit of something for everybody. And nobody touched the thing except for my wife. So I guess I just bought a bunch of alcohol for my wife. So I was like, what the But I don't know if it's in my defense, but in my defense, I was just trying to make everybody feel at home. That's all I was doing. But what I realized is that this shit doesn't really bother me the way it used to anymore. I brought all that home, put it all in the fridge. My wife drank whatever she drank. Nobody else touched anything. And then it all got put on a little shelf, and it's still sitting there. I am so happy with that. I'm so happy with that. I don't know what switch I finally flipped, but it feels so good where there's alcohol in the fridge. Some I would drink, some I wouldn't back in the day. But to be able to go into a store and not only, like, I bought alcohol for my wife. Like, for the first 2 years, I probably couldn't even go down an aisle that had alcohol in it. And then the third year got a little bit easier. And after the third year is when I started buying alcohol for my wife. And then now I'm just really comfortable with it. It doesn't matter if people are drinking around me, if there's alcohol just hanging around the house, none of it bothers me. And so even though I feel like I shouldn't have done that because my parents aren't big drinkers in the first place, I was happy with myself that I could do that, and I don't care that it's down there. You know what I mean? And so that was pretty cool. Having them over was awesome. The dominoes game was that was just so much fun. I got in second place once, and I think my dad won twice. My mom won. I think Nicole won. I kept coming in third, and then I finally came in second. So it was so much fun to just have them over, have a great night. And then, of course, we finished off that amazing roast for dinner last night. And then, today, actually, if I want to really give you a little bit of background, the Subaru has been dying on me. And the Subaru was possibly going to pass inspection because my mechanic had a place where he could bring it, where as long as the check engine light wasn't on and all the codes cleared and passed, they would pass me even though it was a little bit farty, which is an indication of an exhaust leak, but it's not an exhaust leak per se, even though it is. It's on the manifold because on this vehicle, the bolts screw up into the manifold to attach your catalytic converter to the manifold. Well, inside the manifold, the threads, no gone. They no longer exist. They don't know what happened to them. They wore out, whatever. They're gone. You can't bore that out because if you bore it out and you don't know what you're doing, you can fuck up your block. You don't want to wedge something in there and then try to stuff something in it because, again, you tighten it too much, you'll crack your block. You crack your block, your car's junk. Just throw it away. That's it. It's over. New engine. So we didn't want to do any of that. Well, I got a face-to-face last Saturday saying the guy that he was working with no longer doing it because he closed his doors. The other garage he had, they closed their doors about 6 to 8 months ago. So, 2 garages, both closed their doors, no more inspection, right? Now I have to bring it to somebody. Well, we already know the car's not going to pass. So he shows up and I'm like, dude, if my car's not going to pass, then don't worry about the oil change and tire rotation. He's like, okay. He didn't say anything. I thought he got the message. He's somebody who doesn't respond a lot, so that's fine. I'm used to it now. But he didn't. He came in. He was like, I'm gonna do the oil change and tire rotation. I go, no, you're not. I'm like, dude, if I have to, I have to go get a new car. He's like, okay. I was like, I just need the code cleared so that when they look at it, the code's off, and then I will get your shit. And he left me a thing, so in case it came back on, I could shut it back off. And I'm like, okay, cool. I got to give that back to him. But it's in my new car. So this is why I was talking about earlier when things don't go as planned. And I'm still this type of person who has to make plans. I have to have something in place. And I will map out all the worst case scenarios. Unfortunately, my car not passing inspection was not on that list. I really thought that we were going to be able to take care of this and get it done with, and I was going to be able to have these cars until April. Well, that is no longer the case. Right? So, turned out to be from 10:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock tonight. I was at the dealership. And now I'm a proud owner of a 2013 Infiniti. I like it. It's nice. It's throaty as hell. She got 117K on it. And it was 14.8. I have no problems telling you this. I don't care. So that's not the end of it, though. To keep everything simplistic, trying to figure out what to do about my wife's lease. Yeah. So she had to get a new one. Not a lease this time, though. In order to keep the payments down where I needed them to be, she had to get a new to her car. But I'm happy with it. It's got a 3-year warranty. She'll probably get rid of it in 3 years. In 3 years, paid off half of my car. So we got some stuff lined up. But this is not the way it was supposed to go down. This is not what I planned for. Right? So now my payment, which I didn't really care for in the first place because we were paying way too much for that one vehicle, has now gone up $180 a month. So I am dealing with that. And what I have done is, and I've been doing this since I was at the dealership because this guy was trying to crack a smile out of me for hours and he couldn't do it. I was not a happy person. I was not excited. Deep down, I was excited, but I wasn't excited because this is not April. I planned all of this for April. Who the hell really wants to buy a car before the holidays? You know? Nobody. I'm still trying to figure out the holidays. I haven't even figured it out yet. And now I got to figure out new registrations for 2 vehicles. I got to get because I just registered the other 2, so now I got to register these 2, and then I have to swap over information, and then the payments, hopefully, actually, the payments won't start until January, which is nice. I still get the December break, but I'm still going to pretend like I'm paying for the other Honda next month. So that will put us a little bit ahead. We have the leeway to do that right now. So I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? So there's one thing I was thankful for. And then I'm also thankful for the simple fact that my wife is still in an SUV that is super safe, and reliable. So she can still get to and from work. She lost some of her features, but, first world problems, right? You still got a nice vehicle and it's gonna get you to work and you're going to be fine. It's got new tires on. I mean, everything about it, it's awesome. Awesome. It was a great deal. Like, the inflation is real, but we got some really good deals. And the reason I got really good deals at Auto Fair Honda in Manchester, New Hampshire, is because I've been leasing a vehicle with them for 6 years. So if you're like, oh man, you got ripped off, you shouldn't have gone there, you should go somewhere. Yeah, I know. But I don't have 6 years worth of history and on-time payments with somebody else. So I was thankful that I've done all of that legwork, made all of our payments on time, and these guys were like, yeah, we'll take 2 off of here, we'll take 2 off of there, and we'll give you $1,000 for your fucking piece of shit out there. Is not exactly how they said it, but they said it very nicely. And they weren't going to give me $1,000 for it. I'll be honest with you. I had to fight for that. But so I was thankful that they could help me because of my past history. And now I'm grateful at the simple fact that I took the time and put in the work to build everything I've been building and getting our credit in order. I just bought both those cars myself. Like, what are we talking about here? Really? You don't have to have my wife come in and sign for something? They're like, no, we're all set. So my hard work paid off. You know what I mean? And like, this gets me emotional because I'm so happy that I'm finally here in this spot to be able to do these things. Because if I was drinking or still not caring, I would be in a car that can't get inspected trying to figure out how to fucking get it inspected is where I would have been. I would have been driving that car illegally because I still wouldn't be able to do anything because I didn't change anything else about my life. And because I changed everything about my life, I'm now in this spot. So I never want anybody to think that I have done this overnight. Never. I will never tell you that this is an easy road. This was not easy. This was a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of number crunching, a lot of loss. And the loss being on material things because we got other shit to take care of first. So discipline. Those are all things I'm thankful for. And now I have a car that is going to get a free inspection next year. It's got oil change, tire rotation, the first one, and I don't have to worry about my car anymore. No more mechanics. I mean, for the oil change and the tire rotation, sure, I'll still be using them. No problem. But no more. I mean, everything in this car passed and is Honda certified. So I am extremely happy with the way everything worked out. I'm not happy about, the increase. I was just talking about it. Everything's inflating. Everything's increasing. Well, here we go. Another fucking increase. So even though this comes with, I think, less negative than positive outlook, I still had to deal with that negative by showing all the positivity that comes from doing this, even though all these negative things are going to happen or have happened. All this positive here is allowing us or me to do this. And I did it. I did it on my own. I was absolutely blown away. So when you have negativity, you have things that may drive you back to where you were or stop you from continuing on the path that you're trying to go down, then bringing the positivity and comparing the positive to the negative may help you see that negative is really not as negative as maybe you're making it out to be in your head like I do. So that's how today went. And now I'm here and I'm recording and I'm so thankful that I can drive to work tomorrow. I could have drove the Subaru one more day, but literally after tomorrow, because in the state of New Hampshire, if I had gotten it inspected and failed, I would have 10 days. No point of getting a car inspected if you know it's going to fail. So I was like, well, I technically only had tomorrow anyways. So after tomorrow, I would have had to have done this on Wednesday. And who knows, Wednesday could have showed up and poof. These two opportunities may not have been there. So, like I said, this doesn't happen overnight. I will never, ever try to make it sound like it did. And I'm not saying that what I did was easy. It takes a lot of work. A lot of discipline, and a lot of late nights. So, it's just what I feel like almost everybody could do if you put your mind to it. And even though I'm not really doing that much better than anybody else that I know, or even as good as some of the people that I know that everything I've done, starting with stop drinking, of course, without that key ingredient, I wouldn't be where I am today. But none of this would be happening. So it's pretty incredible to finally see my own progress. Today showed me all my hard work, all the time, everything paid off. It finally paid off. And now I don't have to get cars in April, so we'll take care of the rest of the shit that I wanted to do right now in April. And we'll just ride the rest of this year out in our new cars. So, and I'm not bragging that I got new cars. Trust me, I didn't want to do this. I do not find buying a car fun at all. When you are stuck at a dealership for 5 hours just to get through all the crap that they got to tell you, it is no fun. And I mean, there was a couple people there with kids, and they had been there for about 3 hours at that point with me. And boy, oh boy, am I glad. Sometimes I really am glad I don't have any children, because they were getting crazy. They were getting crazy. They were getting restless. They want to get the fuck out of there. And I don't blame them, because I wanted to do the same. I kind of rushed the guy through the paperwork a little bit. He's like, I got to tell you this and this and this and this. And I'm like, dude, I just did this a year and a half ago. I don't need any of it. Now, probably not the best thing. Think I'm going to get the gap insurance added. Think that was a bad decision. But it's okay. I got a couple days, so it's all right. It's all good. Everything actually is really good. And for that, I am very thankful. So, but that's the podcast today. I appreciate all of you. Like I said, no current events this week. I'm going to cut it short. I got to go and get the rest of my stuff done for the rest of the week so that I can get this edited for all of you and get it uploaded on time. And I just appreciate all of you. So thank you, especially my subscribers. Thank you so much. It keeps me coming back here week after week. All right. It really does. If you can do some more for me, go ahead, give a thumbs up for the video, share, rate, review, and of course, leave comments. If you are new to the podcast, all right, please be subscribing. All right. Subscribe. And also give a thumbs up for the video. Share, rate, review, comments. Very important. Helps podcast grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Remember, subscribing is free for you. It means the world to me if you do it. It really, really does. I so appreciate it. So keep those subscribers coming in, okay? And you can do that by sharing. And if you want to get more involved with the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's the official email of the podcast. I'm looking for people who want anything, advice. You want to tell a story. You want to tell someone's story that needs to be heard. You can do that by sending your email over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. If you want to get free Slowdown merch, I'm looking for a story. Whether it's yours or not. And then, of course, you write Slowdown in the subject line, and I picked that one out. You're going to get some free Slowdown merch. Super glad that Slowdown has given me the opportunity to do this. So just Slowdown in the subject line, send the email over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And, of course, if you want to get more content, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Go there. I always appreciate the follow. And like I said, I try to put up content all week, every week. Some weeks are better than others. But, again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And, of course, with that, I want to say, have an amazing Thursday, whatever time it happens to be. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.